though is,
Oh, now start again. Okay.
okay. Her question is, when you get a chance, she says, she have a question about demographics and psychographic free service. That's something you mentioned about that. She said, could you elaborate?
Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my contact information, and Krisha, if you could do that in the chat for me, please. Put my contact information in there, and you can call me personally and we can talk about it. It's part of being part of another service organization that provides free research for you. And so what I can do, I can make that connection for you, but it is free as your tax dollars working for you. And you have to become a client of that organization. And then if in fact you want the demographics and psychographics research, it can be done for you free. But she will put my contact information in there, and then call me afterward, and I'll make that arrangements for you. And again, Krisha, thank you very much. Lucretia's an instructional designer. And so when she put this presentation together years ago, a lot of thought went into how it was going to roll out and how it was going to connect. And it's good to hear her insert as we go along with some of the history and the thought that went into putting this presentation together initially. Thank you, Lucretia. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Executive summary. So I spoke briefly about the executive summary. Executive summary is a high-level overview of your entire plan. So after you write your plan, and there's no set amount of pages for your plan, it can be 10 pages, it can be 30 pages, whatever amount of pages that you need to really explain about your business. When you finish your writing your plan, you have to summarize it into like a page and a half, if in fact you're looking for any type of financing, because a lender is going to want an executive summary. And so no more than a page and a half. So think of yourself as a lender receiving 25 and 30 business plans a week. You're not going to read them all. You're going to read the executive summary. And if in fact someone catches your interest there, then you do a deeper dive. And then the next dive into that plan after executive summary is going to be who's managing the business. And then they're going to look at the financials. And then they'll go into the other parts of your business plan. It's going to, on your executive summary, is going to include your mission statement in there as well, and some of your high-level financial information. Business description. So executive summary, now we're going to describe the business. You use the business, your company description to provide detailed information about your company. Who are you all about? You're going to go into detail about the problems your business is going to solve. You're going to be specific and list out the consumers, organizations, and businesses your company plans to serve. You're going to explain the competitive advantage that will make your business a success. And are there any experts on your team? You have someone on your team that has experience, that's been doing this for a while, and what are the results of their work? And did you pick the right location? Should I be in a brick and mortar? Should I be online? Should I be in a mobile truck? So they want to know the thoughts behind all the decisions that you make as it relates to your business. Then the background of the industry. Again, you need to understand the industry trends. What's going on in that industry? Is it growing? Is it not growing? So you want to make sure you do your research on the industry background, and that should be in your plan as well. Talking about the growth, the size, and the history of that industry. Your operational plan. So if you have a product, this is pretty much for a product. Are you going to have quality insurance? So you should. Inventory control. Is your store internet-based? Is your business internet-based? Or the physical store, home? And again, back to the why. And you'll find out in business plans, sometimes you'll answer the same question in multiple sections, but it's needed in that section. Your personnel are going to have W-2 employees. Are you going to have 1099 employees? Do you have any environmental impacts? If I have a gas station, I have environmental impact. If I have a restaurant, I have an environmental impact. And then you want to address those. Then suppliers, who are you working with? Who are the suppliers that you're counting on, especially if you have a product? Who am I counting on to make sure I get the supplies I need to run my business? What happens? Do they have a backup plan? Because we know during the pandemic, a lot of businesses went out. They went out of business. Even large corporations did not have backup plans for some supplies. And we went to the stores and they were not on the shelves and we were looking for it. My understanding was a lot of them did not have backup plans for their suppliers. That one supplier went out of business and that stopped them from producing what the next company needed to produce their product. Then what technology are you using? You want to make sure you're using the state of the art if possible, the latest and the greatest if possible in your technology. So all that should be noted in your section for operational. Supply chain. So again, if I'm relying on someone, what's the price? Then also too, what's the prices I'm charging for my product or my services? Where's the location? Where I'm going to get the product from? How much lead time do I need? What's the quality, reliability, the reputation, and the contingency plan? You have to research companies that you plan on doing business with, especially if you have a product. Contingency plan, I call it the what if plan. What if something goes wrong? How am I still going to get what I need to make sure I can make my product for my consumers, for my customers as well? So it's very important that you study whoever you're relying on to give you something for your business. You want to make sure they also have a contingency plan in case something goes wrong. So I wouldn't do business with anyone that I'm relying on 100% for my product without having some type of backup plan, because anything can happen and they might not be able to produce. I did that one already. Okay. Market research. I'm going to assume everyone did some type of market research on their business before they started. You determined that this was a business that you wanted to start. But if in fact you wanted additional market research, there's some information on the right. You're not going to get these slides, but if you want to jot that down or take a screenshot, again, SBA website has a lot of good information. You have the census and counter reports, a lot of good information for market research. And on the left-hand side, at least my left, I think it's your left too, some keywords, if in fact you want to do some market research for the industry that you're in. And again, this other service that I'm talking about, they do market service, they do market research as well for you. Your competition. Do you know who you're competing against? Have you looked at their businesses? Do you know who's your direct competition? Do you know who's your indirect competition? Have you researched any of your competitors? At least 3. You should research at least 3 of your competitors, the ones that are comparable in size and at the time in business. Sometimes you can't find them, but do your best you can to try to find someone that's comparable in size and at the time of your business. Go on their websites, go to their locations, see what they're doing. Go on Yelp, see what people are saying about their services. You want to know what's going on with your competitors. You're not trying to take anything from anyone. You're just trying to learn. And then your financial plan. On this chart, some of this will apply and some of it will not apply. It depends on what stage you are in your business. If you're brand new, some of it won't even apply. You don't have a balance sheet yet or income statement. But if you've been in business for a while, you will have an income statement and balance sheet. All this is part of your business plan, because the person who's going to be lending you any money or investing in your business, they want to know a little bit about you. So this financial plan is very, very important. And again, the document that Sarah shared with you will tell you some of the things that you need in your financials. We're going to talk about SWOT analysis. So we just talked about writing a business plan, the key components of a business plan, what's needed in a business plan, the research you need to do. And now we're going to talk about the SWOT analysis. What are you strong in your business? What are you weak at? Where are some of the opportunities and where are some of the threats? All this also has an impact on how you operate and run your business. So Janetta's going to cover the SWOT analysis. Janetta?
I have to unmute myself.
Thank you.
So before we transition to the SWOT analysis, is there any questions so far what Pat has talked about the components in the plan? I didn't see any hands raised, but any at all? Okay, we'll move on. Next slide. Has anybody, I'm going to ask it anyway, and you can just raise your natural hand. Has anybody heard of a SWOT analysis, and have you done a SWOT analysis before? Okay, I see Kim and Jessica and Andrea. Let's see any more hands. Okay, and Victoria. There we go. Okay, so it's not all new to all of you. So you've done it before. But again, as Pat said, it's another good tool, and to update it always. Strengths kind of speaks for itself based on your company culture. What are the internal factors that make your company strong? Simple as that. What are some of the positive characteristics in your company that you can think of? Maybe you have 2 or 3, experts in your company. If you're doing, I'll look at here, like in her taco business or in the urban excellence business, maybe you have somebody in there that's a good writer. That's a strength for you. Then you will identify also on the SWOT analysis, you can take one sheet of paper, make one big box so you can see them all. What are some of the internal factors in there that may be preventing you from growing like you want to grow? It becomes a hindrance. As it said here, for example, maybe you have a shortage of materials, or maybe shortage of people, whatever it may be. What is that one thing that you could use more of? And opportunities. This says here you depend on external factors. Opportunity helps company expand revenue. In other words, growth and demand. What is an opportunity that you can look out there and say, if we had that, but it's all dealing with external. If we had more money, if we had perhaps more employees with this skill set, that's an opportunity for you and your business to go out and try to secure it. And threats, anything controlled external again. Remember, the first 2 are internal factors that you control. The last 2, opportunities and threats, are external factors that pose a risk to either your success, your stability, or not. You have threats. Maybe you live in an area, I'm just making this up, where there's high crime, or potentially you live on, you're on a earthquake fault. And the reason why, because we can't control that if something happens in the area. And so changing climate conditions, there you go, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that will help you look inside your business with greater detail and put that into your business plan. Okay, next, Pat.
I like to add here, actually, I want to ask a question too, if somebody would like to answer. Make a statement first. So this is all, again, I have an idea. I want to start a business, and this is in that critical thinking, and we're trying to pan everything out about that business and, how we're going to go about it. So strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, your SWOT. What do you think the importance of even figuring out what your strengths are? You might say, I'm good at that. I don't need to focus on that. What do you think the importance is of even saying, these are my strengths, or listing those out?
That's a good question. And I think Lucretia's asking that to anyone that's willing to raise their hand. Why have a strength? Why is it important? Let's see if I see any hands. You take a jab.
Mika has a hand up.
There you go, Mika.
And Andrea, I can't hear it though. You're on mute, Andrea.
I think Mika.
I was pointing to Mika. I was saying Mika, she's above me.
I think knowing your strengths allow you to recognize what problems you can solve for people or businesses or whoever you're going to do business with. If you know what your strength is, then you can know what problem you can solve, and that's how you can make your money.
Okay.
So yeah, that's true. That's a good answer. It's like, what problems can I solve? And to add to that, therefore, I can highlight them as a strong point in my plan, in my marketing, in my communication, right? The other thing I think about when I list out my strengths, these are the things I know I can kind of put over here and not worry about, right? These are the things I can come back to, maybe even touch last, because I know I'm strong there. So I know I don't have to work as hard there or put as much effort there or energy. I'm good there. And so it helps you start to separate the things that I really have to focus on or figure out when it comes to my business, right? So I'm able to put that over there and say, okay, I'll come back to you because I got that, 10 toes down, right? And then the same thing, with your weaknesses. That's, identifying those weaknesses. And it's been said, kind of like when you start your day, you do the hard stuff first, right? People like to do the strengths first, right? That's the easy stuff because we're comfortable and it makes us feel good and we're strong there. We actually need to get the hard stuff out the way first because it's the thing we don't want to do and the thing we don't know the most about and most uncomfortable. And it's the hardest to get started with. And so outline your weaknesses. That's going to tell you where you're going to spend most of your time, where you're going to need your most help, where you're going to begin to think, okay, who are my resources? I'm very weak in this area. You're going to start to think, who can supply this? What resource do I have that can use this? Who do I know that's actually an expert at this? It's going to help you can all of that out. So it's very important to outline those things. And then as Jenna said, your opportunities, what opportunities are out there? They may be in the beginning opportunities for pro bono work. There's an opportunity for me to go out here, present myself, showcase who I am and what I have, potentially grab a client or inquiry, right? And then those threats in our environment, external factors, as she said, in the environment. Going back to the person who does the tacos, or she said, I do all kind of food, but tacos, right? If you have a taco truck and you like to go to downtown LA, well, what threats exist? Well, they're always closing down the streets because there's so much that happens in downtown LA, right? So at any given moment, I might not be able to so you're thinking of all these external threats that could impact the plan for you to do business and be successful. So I just wanted to add that.
That's good. You sparked a thought in me. Lucretia, when you said that, first of all, I want to go back to weaknesses. See that little man there, that little image? Yeah, he's worn out. So Lucretia was basically saying, you don't want to be like him. You want to be able to, okay, this weakness is not going to get me down. But the comment I really want to make was over in opportunities. It doesn't say here, but growth in demand. We have opportunities. All of you are on this line right now, and you all are very interested in creating a business plan that you can work with. But don't forget about yourselves. You as a person is an opportunity. You're already here with BBA. You have an opportunity to expand yourself and your business with chambers of commerce, community organizations, nonprofits, serving on boards. I know we get so busy with our own businesses and our own personal lives that some of the key external factors are staring us in the face so they can realize who you are. So you want to get involved with whatever you can without overload. But I know I had a position the opportunity was for me to bring up my company. So I would have to find myself in community organizations so the company would be well known, better liked. They would be depending on us. We could grow, in our relationships. So again, you have an opportunity with just yourself to create more relationships that will help your business as well.
Thank you.
Let's throw this one more thing out to the opportunities. Even being here, because as some of you were saying your business names, I was writing those down. Like, you know what? I was looking for a photographer last week, So this is an opportunity without you even directly realizing it, right? And that's what she was saying, placing yourselves in those places to get your name out there. So that's wonderful.
Had I not hired that taco truck, Raquel, it'd have been you, but I already hired one for my daughter's shower.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Andrea had a question.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No, I actually just had a statement. Whenever I'm building out a team, I do a SWOT analysis because, you want to have different varieties of talent and experience. So when you find out, I may be strong at public speaking, but weak at Excel, so my financial officer, I'm going to look for, them to have more of a strength in Excel. So it's really kind of like picking and choosing. So when you're putting together a really award-winning team, then you have a variety of strengths.
That's good. That's good.
Thank
So
you.
true. So true. I'm finished with this. If there's no, back to you, Pat.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and we talked about the SBA a couple of times. The SBA, and if you haven't been on the SBA website, please go on there. And they have examples of business plans. They have a traditional business plan. They have a canvas plan and a one pager, and I forgot what it's called. But they have samples of business plans that you can use as a reference. I think they need to update them a little bit. They're kind of, I think they're a little bit outdated, but they're a good guide. Again, looking at some of the samples on the SBA website, using ChatGPT, and using the template that you received from Sarah earlier today or yesterday. These are all tools to help you as you write your business plan. It's a lean business plan. That's what it was called. The other, it's a traditional, a lean, and a business model canvas. They say the word on the street is that lenders now, some lenders are accepting the business model canvas instead of the traditional business plan. I haven't met a lender that accepts that yet, but I hear that they're going to start accepting those. And if you look at the sample, we didn't give a sample out today, but if you look at a sample at the SBA website, it covers everything that's in a plan, but it's kind of summarized. It's not in detail, but depending if you're a good writer, you can summarize all that information in those boxes. And if in fact someone wants to read it to know a little bit about your business, this is a great tool. And again, here's some links. You might want to take a screenshot of the page so you can go and get some copies of it and download them. So these are some useful links. I use city data a lot. IBIS World is the cat's meow for research, but it's a cost involved. So it's very expensive to use IBIS World, but I understand there's some free things in IBIS World. Most of your high-end universities use IBIS World for their studies in their institutions, but it's a great tool, but it has a high price tag. But again, someone says sometimes you can go on there and get some free things. SurveyMonkey, and then Chat OpenAI. I love Chat OpenAI. Again, you just got to learn how to use it. And I know there's some organizations that give some classes on AI and on ChatGPT, just really how to say what you need to say in ChatGPT to get the outcome that you're looking for. And there's two ways of using ChatGPT. I think there's a subscription that's like $20 a month, and then there's a free version. I only have the free version. I haven't needed the one with the pay for a subscription yet. So check it out. Great tool. Who's all used ChatGPT? Okay. Great tool. Okay, so we're kind of close to the end. Do we have any questions? And then after that, we're going to go over the template, the business plan that you were given, and close it out. Do we have any questions at this time? Okay, Victoria.
I apologize. I was raising my hand. She asked if anyone used ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. And that's the only thing about raising your hand. Sometimes you can't bring it down immediately, huh? Okay, so everyone should have a copy of the business plan template. And if you look at the template, it starts off with executive summary, as we stated in the previous slides. All business plan starts off with executive summary, but the executive summary shouldn't be written until the end. After you've written everything else, then you're going to summarize it. Then section 2 is the description of your business. On the sample that you received, it has questions that we feel should be answered as far as describing the business. This is not exclusive. Add other things in describing your business if you need to. But for sure, what business are you in? What's your key product or your services that you're offering? What market do you believe exists for you? Where are you located? How do you operate your business? And is growth a part of your strategy? Then the next section, you're talking about mission, goals, and objectives. It doesn't have vision in here, but I would add vision in here. Vision, mission, goals, and objectives. So again, why does your business even exist? What's unique about what's your unique selling proposition? Why do I want to do business with you? I've been going over here for a long time and kind of hopping around, but why do I want to be committed to doing business with you? You might want to put that in there as well. What are you committed to providing your customers? What promises are you making to your client? Then you go into background information, the industry background. You want to talk about the background of that specific industry. You do some research on the industry and determine the trajectory of that business. What are some of the future trends? And then your personal experience in that industry. You want to document that. I've worked in this industry and perhaps at a corporation for so many years. I have background, I have history, whatever you need to say. But a lender or investor wants to know, do you really understand that industry? Is this something that you want to do? How much do you know about that industry and how much experience do you have in that industry? Or do you have people on your staff that has experience? Then you talk about the organization. What structure do you have? Am I a sole proprietor? Am I LLC? Am I a corporation? So they like to know that as well. And who's on your management team? Who's your personnel? Who's on the team? And I want to know a little bit about them too. So you want to make sure you say that as well. If you have outside advisors, BBA is an outside advisor. Other organizations are outside advisors. You can put that in here as well. Insurance. You don't necessarily have to put down, how much insurance you have and the cost, but you want to indicate that you are aware that insurance is required and needed. Then you want to talk about the process necessary to get your product or your services to your customers. You want to talk about that. Then you want to talk about your marketing plan. Describe your products. Well, again, what's unique about that product? Your customer analysis. Where are your customers? How do you find your customers? And that's when we're talking about the demographics and psychographics. Where are they? Can I find them? Knowing your competition. Who's your competition? Who am I competing against? How much have I studied my competition? Your market potential, your pricing, your promotional strategies. You want to talk about how I'm going to advertise. I'm going to use social media. And I understand, and again, I'm not a social media person. I probably should be, I'm just not. I understand that there's strategy behind when to post, when not to post. The time of day, who's really looking at them at those certain times of day. Do you understand that? What type of people use social media? And again, once you know your demographics, you know who they are, then there's a pattern for them. So then you want to understand that so you can post accordingly. Then you get into your personal sales, who you're going to be selling to, and then your financial plan, how much money it's going to cost you to start up your business. So you have startup costs. And then you're going to project. A lot is projecting too. I don't really know about my forecasting for my future, what I'm going to make, but I have to project that. I have to do some forecasting. I do know how much I've already invested, and I can document that. Then sometimes, so after you do the financial piece, sometimes attaching resumes or letters of endorsements or contracts that you've had already, sometimes that helps as well. Any licenses or a copy of a market study helps as well if you're trying to get a loan. But that's only if you're trying to get an investor or get a loan. But really, I think a business plan is just really for yourself. Then after you write your plan, then you sit down and you say, okay, let me summarize this. Summarize it not only for myself, but for the reader or someone else that I'm trying to look to invest in my company or give me a loan. But I want them to know that I have a good business here. I have a great idea here. I'm committed to it. I'm involved in it. And I need some help to get it off the ground. And I know enough about this industry to be successful. So you write your plan, you take action, and then you work your plan. I had a client one time, they spent about 3 months writing a plan. And they were going back and forth, and they wrote it, says, okay, Pat, my plan is complete. Now what? Now work your plan. That's your plan for you to work. You've given it a lot of thought. And now you want to work that plan. So, Lucretia, I'm going to ask for some comments from you, and Jeanette, I'm going to ask for some comments from you as well. And if we don't have any questions, and then we're going to look in the chat room, and then we're going to close out for the day.
So what I was thinking as Patricia was going through the template of the plan and going through each section, I believe most people know what mind mapping is. If you don't, raise your hand. Or I'll just kind of say it. Mind mapping, I'm a very visual person myself. Everyone is not. But it's mapping out what's in your mind, right? But you're putting it on paper. So as you're going through each of these sections, like Patricia said, the executive summary, although it starts in your business plan, so that is the proper place once it's documented, it's not the proper start for your mind, right? So the proper start, as I said before, is actually your mission. What is the objective of your business? Why does it exist, right? And so when you mind map, however you want to do it, but what I would have is like a big circle, and in the middle, I would write mission or objective. And then I'd start writing all the ideas around it and relate it to that objective to help people, make them better, make them happy, whatever it is, whatever your objective is. And I'd start writing all the ideas around that objective, because you're not going to begin to start typing into this template immediately. This takes thought, right? A lot of just the creative thoughts in your head and ideas in your head coming out. And so mind mapping or process mapping is a very good way to do that. You start with that idea. You just begin to drill down, like I said, on a big poster piece of paper or however you want to do it, and write all those things there under each of those components. So when you get to your business structure, okay, what is my business structure? You have that in the center, and you begin to say, well, I think I need an assistant, and I think I need a president, and you just mind map each of these sections out. And then you begin to cross off the things that, as you prioritize, and I don't think we talked about prioritization here, but as you prioritize, you'll begin to cross out what's not applicable or pertinent to the objective of your business. And then you can transfer that over into the document in each section. And now you really have a good starting point, and then you'll be, okay, this is what I have the structure, read it, and begin to fill in the extra blanks from there. So that was just a suggestion I have. Hopefully that made sense.
Thank you. Janetta, you're on mute.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Now realizing a business plan should have been created before any businesses have been created. If you've had a business that's been, whether it's viable or not, in existence for 3+ years, how do you work backwards?
You go down and you document what you're doing today. You look at all those areas that you need to discuss, your business description, your competition, your marketing, and you document how you're operating today. And then you're going to change how you plan on operating in the future that will hopefully better serve your business. So you can start off wherever you are. You've been in business already, but the best time is to write it before you start your business. But a lot of people write it.
And I would start, I can keep going back to that mission and objective. I would write that out big and bold on the poster paper. And as you look at what you've already been doing, begin to assess and do inventory. Anything that does not align with your objective for your business, begin to cross it out. And this is for the business that's already in operation. Anything that does align, you're going to just move it over with the new information that you plan to put in there and the new research. Because if you've already started, probably you didn't do the research that has been talked about here, right? To identify a lot of the pertinent things that go in each of these sections. But if it ties to your objective, keep it. If it doesn't, cross it out and get rid of it. Transfer it over. And as you do your research, you begin to merge the two together. I think that would be the best approach.
Thank you.
Okay. The only thing I was going to add, Pat, first of all, thank you all for being with us. And I see that Sarah in the chat room has asked if anybody wanted to do a deeper dive into the business plan development with an actual working session. And there's comments in there, Pat, I'm not sure if you saw them, where people would like to do a deeper dive in person. And, Zoom is good, but, Pat and Lucretia both, or any of us, but Pat and Lucretia, because they're down in Southern California, they have a lot of more information to give. We're on a time schedule today, but if you want to do a deeper dive, they can do it for you and actually have you do hands-on Because it's one thing speaking with you, and I'm sure the information I hope has been helpful to you, but I'm sure when you do it in person. So anyway, you might have that conversation, Pat, with Sarah later
Yes.
on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janetta. Excuse the background noise, but yes, thank you so much. We'll be talking to Pat about that, but I decided to pose that question in the chat because this is such an important major part of your business development and acceleration. And we want to make sure that you have all tools and resources available. So we'll talk with Pat, see about arranging for an in-person session to do that deeper dive to assist you with that.
Thank you, Sarah.
But I'd like to ask before you close it off, Pat, putting you all on the spot, was what you received today helpful for most of you?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Good. That's good to hear.
That's good to hear.
And any comments that you might have or follow up, make sure you make Sarah aware, because we want to make sure that we're just not sitting here giving you information that's not valuable. We want to make sure the information that we give you is valuable, because you're business owners. You want to add to the economy. We're cheering for. In fact, I have some pom-poms.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for you all. I want you to be successful. I want you to invest in your business, and if we can help you in any way, we will. Sarah and I had a brief conversation because this is a 4-part series. So next week we're talking about certification. So once I have a business plan, part of your business plan might be, I want to be certified vendor with the city or with the federal government or with the utility company. So how do I do that? Because that's part of my plan, to be able to become a vendor with them. So perhaps I can get some contracts. And then the session after that, we're going to talk about capability statements. If in fact I do get in front of someone, how do I present myself in my business? I give them a capability statement so then you can know a little bit more about you. And then we have procurement. How do we bid on jobs? When do we know, it's called, procurement, but when do I bid? When do I not bid? Because every opportunity is not for you. Some opportunities are for you. So anyway, we have a lot to cover, but I told Sarah at the end that my company is Ventress Click Ventures, and we will give 30 minutes free consultation to anyone who would like that. Not after each session, but collectively, you have 30 minutes that are free. No matter which session you want to use it towards, then I will definitely do that in order to help you be successful, because it's important.
And I saw one last hand. Mika, did you want to ask a question? I saw your hand up.
No, I'm fine. No.
Okay.
Well, I typed in the chat, how do I join the BBB? Is it the Better
The BBA? Oh yeah, Sarah will
BBA,
help you
great.
with that.
I will send you the link to that. Thank you so much. It's on our website, bbala.org, under Get Involved, but I'll follow up and send everybody the link on that. Thank you so much. Also, too, while I'm on, and we're wrapping up here, we did good timing today, right, Pat?
Yes, we did.
Please, everybody, mark, because while we're doing this from week to week, we're going to be providing resources of opportunities. And one major opportunity that's happening is County of LA, spearheaded by our wonderful supervisor, Holly Mitchell. They're launching their Economic Mobility Initiative program. And it is all things technical assistance, access to capital. Also, too, there is a commercial acquisition fund where they're giving up to $2 million for vacant properties in LA County. You have to have a development on it that lends itself to providing low rental availability for other nonprofits and businesses, but they're still giving up to $2 million for vacant properties. That's one of the things. They have intensive training for entrepreneurship basics. They have small business mobility fund. They have social enterprise training and support, employee ownership support. So a myriad of resources that are going to be pouring in. The kickoff is on April 29th at Coliseum. we will be sending more information as we get the details, but the kickoff is April 29th at the Coliseum, and we'll continue to provide you with a myriad of other different types of great opportunities to pick up on. Another one is a digital accelerating your digital footprint. And that program is going to teach you about the basics of the digital, but also too, their next phase will be having a cohort of 50 where they're going to bring you in and just help you with your website, with your Facebook page, with all kind of things that will accelerate your presence online. And so that and much more, we're going to continue to flood you with these kind of opportunities and information to make sure that you guys have all the tools and means possible to advance your business. So, and we'll follow up too on that deeper dive in-person session, because again, that is so important for you guys to be able to master and have that business plan at the ready. So thank you so much, everybody. This is such a wonderful, great session. Pat, I'll leave you with the final word if you want to have anything. But everybody, thank you so much for attending today and investing in you and your business.
Thank you very much. I have nothing else to say. You just said it. Thank you again for attending and investing in your business. Congratulations to you all. And again, I'm available if in fact you need any additional resources. Janetta, Lucretia, thank you for your contributions today. I appreciate you both.
God bless you all.
God bless you all.
Have a good one.
Everybody.
Bye, Kim.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
William.
Thank you,
Nice
William.
to keep in touch, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Talk
you
to you
so
soon.
much. This was so great. This is Raquel. This was just amazing. I'm going to take everything I learned today and just utilize it. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome
you.
so very
Thank you.
much.
Okay. Have a good day.
You
You too.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys. Thanks for the information. It was awesome.
Good to see you again, Kareem.
Karim,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Thank you, Mika.
Thank you, Sarah. It was nice to meet you.
So pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you so much for the pearls and diamonds that you dropped today, as somebody said in the chat. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope to meet you one day.
And I too, I hope so as well.
Yes, yes.
And Pat, I just love you to death. Thank you so much.
I
Appreciate
love
you.
you too. I
Don't
love
die
you.
though. I'd
Can't
love
wait till next week's session.
Yes. So
Okay.
Janetta,
Jesus
feel free to
Christian.
join in if you just like to join us next week for the other sessions.
Oh, yeah, just to sit in. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
I'll see. I'll look on. I'll put it
It's
on my calendar.
$25. It's $25.
Okay.
This one
It
was
is?
free.